Hello and welcome. It's Ronnie Ruiz and Dr. Robert Young, and we're here at the Rancho del Sol Healing Center in Valley Center, California. We're having an incredible conversation with Dr. Young, and we're talking right now about the different ways that you've been attacked over the years, and you just shared with us a couple of arrests and some of the other things. But the fact is, they haven't stopped trying to arrest you, have they?
Well, no. I mean, they won't stop until I'm imprisoned or put out of business, because that's their outcome. The people that they work for, we're talking about the local and state governments, their agenda is to stop the proliferation of alternative or complementary medicine, to stop alternatives that are not the conventional approach of treating diseases with chemotherapy or radiation or drugs, or however they want to treat them conventionally. This is what they're doing, and it's the person behind the scene, so to speak, the Wizard of Oz, who's behind the curtain, is, from my own research, are three major pharmaceutical companies. And I'm not going to mention their names. They know who they are. You can do your own research. You can check out maybe some websites like timbolin.com. Bolin, I'm trying to think, Bolin has a wonderful
the Bolin Report.
Yeah, the Bolin.
Not but Bolin, Bolen report.
Yeah, bolinreport.com. I mean, I think he addresses some of these issues. There's other resources, like a guy by the name of Jones, who also writes a lot of information on his website's like InfoWars.
Well, I mean, this isn't just conspiracy stuff. I mean, the bottom line is, I see what you teach gets results. It has effects. It does change people's lives. It does take money out of the pharmaceutical industry. It takes money out of the conventional medical industry. But in my opinion, that's money they never should have had in the first place. They shouldn't have had that money, because people shouldn't be in those positions.
Ronnie, I think that's a small part of it, and I agree with you on that, but I think the bigger part is people love to control other people. This is more about power and control. And, sometimes I think that big pharma and big government thinks that we're just a product. We're like cattle, and we're the product, and because we're the consumers, and they want to control that. Not to our betterment, but it looks like to our demise. And so when we look at chemotherapy having at the best result after 5 years, only a 2.1% survival rate, and that's in the U.S., and Australia is just a little bit better at 2.3% survival rate. So that somebody who's had cancer that they've used chemotherapy with, you have a 2.1% survival rate with that type of protocol. That's not success. I mean, the success they've had is, I don't know, it's hard for me to find in my own research a healthy person on the planet, because of the current lifestyle, because of big pharma and all these medicines and vaccinations. It's literally impossible to find a healthy person left on this planet. And this is what the end result is. And we can conjecture about what the reasons for. Is it for population control? Is it for money? Is it for power or control? All I can say is what's happening to me.
Right.
And when I'm exercising and doing a rebounder, and then someone with an AK-47 with a bulletproof vest shows up with three other officers, and they're looking through our gym, and they're coming to arrest me while I'm teaching people how to exercise. I mean, there's something crazy. While two helicopters are hovering over the property as if I'm going to run and escape the property because we're doing something so downright evil, is just totally ridiculous. And then to bring the fallacious charges against me. There was myself.
And just so everybody knows, when did this happen?
Well, this has been going on for the last 2 years. They raided our property July 23rd, 2013. I was arrested January 23rd, 2014. I've been to court numerous times to defend myself against fallacious charges, trumped-up charges. They trumped them up so that when they arrested me, I had a bail of $1 million. For what? Teaching people how to eat, how to exercise? I mean, give me a break, you know. And then they want to say, well, because we were doing IVs. Yeah, we were doing IVs because I had hired a medical doctor, Dr. Ben Johnson, who was also arrested. And by the way, he's a licensed oncology medical doctor. He was doing it. Why would I be doing this? Why would he be arrested? Why would my assistant be arrested? For what? Conspiracy. I mean, it's like, let's just throw some mud against the wall and see what sticks. Because it wasn't about what we were doing. It was intimidation. It was to break us down financially, you know, emotionally, and destroy. When they came in, they actually declared out of their own mouth, when some of our employees said, "Why are you here?" Well, we're here because we are putting you out of business, quote unquote. When I was arrested, I said, "Why are you arresting me like this?" We had an agreement that if you were going to arrest me, you know, that I would turn myself in. And said, "Oh no, we weren't going to allow that." And this was the deal between the DA and my attorney. "Oh no, we weren't going to allow that." I said, "Why?" While I'm in handcuffs. I said, "Why?" "I want to know." "Well, because you're a Mormon. This is a compound, and you have women running all around this place." I said, you got to be kidding me."
And who told you that?
This is one of the arresting officers. You know,
Where's the women?
Because of my faith, I'm being arrested. Because of my belief system. What, they thought I was running some sort of
a brothel?
Brothel here? I mean, you know,
And I never saw the women running around. Where were they?
Yeah, but they said, we're putting this business out of business. And they did everything. They took our computers. They took our printers. They took all of our files. They sabotaged our phones. They cut off our internet. And they continue to do this. They haven't stopped the harassment. Why? Because they have one goal. They have one goal, and that's to put anyone like me, it's not just me, but it's others. Because in the last 60 days, 11 of my associates have lost their lives. It's not just putting people out of business, it's shutting them up. It's closing their mouths. You know, to look like a heart attack, to look like a suicide. There is no way. There is no way. You know, and the bottom line is I'm grateful that I have been given the stamina and the health, both physically and emotionally, to resist this persecution, not prosecution, but persecution. When I went to trial, to the preliminary hearing, and you have to understand there's a very low bar for evidential presentation. They just have to present the notion that there may be some wrongdoing. Okay, I was charged with 18 counts ranging from practicing medicine without a license to conspiracy to grand theft. All of the charges were dropped other than just a few.
And that's where it's at right now.
Well, let me finish. And then Dr. Ben had 10 charges. He's a licensed medical doctor. We have licensed massage therapists. My poor son was handcuffed as if he had done something wrong. He's a licensed massage therapist doing massage here and body work at the ranch. Totally naked. You know, they just take him, arrest him, totally naked.
Oh, he was naked.
He was naked. He says, "Oh, let me put something on." No, you're under arrest.
Oh, he was in bed.
He pulled him out of bed, totally naked.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and we're talking about 47 vested with AK-47s all of our entrances blocked as if this was some sort of, mastermind, criminal activity going on here at the ranch. And all we're doing is teaching lifestyle and diet and helping people with licensed people that are performing the various treatment protocols. So, those were all dropped. The 10 charges were dropped in the pre-hearing. The charge against Rosie for conspiracy was dropped. My charges were dropped, other just a few. Well, the DA was just devastated. Just Davis and her true employers, the people behind, couldn't have that, so they appealed. And when they appealed, the judge allowed, I think, 4 or 5 charges to come back in, which added, some that are meaningless. I mean, one of them, I wasn't even in the country. I was being totally managed by my medical director, Dr. Ben Johnson. But the bottom line is yes, I'm going back to trial in November, and yes, I'm going to fight this, to the end, and hopefully it'll be over in 2 weeks. I mean, it's been suggested this may go on for 4 weeks. I mean, and there's people that have stepped forward that want to testify, and I'm grateful for that, to be able to tell the truth of what really goes on here, so that the world can understand. But this is all, politically motivated, funded by a big pharma, which has provided the funds to offset the costs of the millions of dollars this has cost the state of California. And so that's where we are today. And so I'm looking forward to my day in court.
Yeah, let me just mention that I'm just in awe of how you've kept your composure